If you struggle to keep your arms straight throughout the golf swing and always see that dreaded chicken wing when you're swinging the club, then you're going to want to watch today's video. I'm willing to place a large bet that the way you're trying to keep your arms straight is incorrect. And the information I'm going to share with you today will transform how you think about keeping the lead arm straight in your golf swing. I promise you, it's not what you thought it was, but once you know how to do it, you'll never think of doing it any other way. And there's a huge mistake that every single one of you is making when it comes to trying to keep this lead arm straight. And that mistake is focusing on the lead arm. It isn't the lead arm that's the problem. Believe it or not, it's your trail arm. It's your trail arm that works poorly in the backswing and overflexes that causes your lead arm to bend too much. So if you want to fix your left arm and keep it straight throughout your swing once and for all, you really need to understand the mechanics of how this trail arm works. In the Golfing Machine book, Homer Kelly says that the mystery of golf fades away when the role of the right arm is understood. That's a pretty big statement. If we can get this trail arm into the correct spot at setup and then teach you how it moves throughout the backswing and the downswing, you'll find you're able to keep your arms much straighter. And while the right arm is the culprit, it really starts at setup with poor alignment of the right hand on the grip and poor alignment of the right elbow. So we're going to talk about how those two things need to be placed on the club first of all before we get into how to keep the structure in the lead arm. So trail elbow, first of all, needs to be turned so that it's pointing out towards the camera. Some people describe this as like the give blood type of position. So the elbow can be turned inwards where it's facing the target, or I can rotate my arm so that the elbow is pointing out towards the camera. That's how we want this to be. That's putting the arm into some external rotation to begin with, which is desirable. That's where we want this arm to work around us in the backswing. And when we're at the top, I'm able to feel that I'm losing an arm wrestle. There's a great description and a feeling for that trail arm to be in the correct position. So often, golfers get the right arm into a poor condition at setup with the elbow turned in. You can see from this down the line view that the right elbow and the right arm is very high above the left. And then as they swing back, this elbow works into internal rotation. This would be poor because you can see what it does to the pitch of the shaft. It makes things very, very steep. So setting up with your elbow turned, facing the camera, and a conscious effort to squeeze or push this upper arm in towards your side. And with the right arm correctly aligned at setup and soft here with a little bit of bend, you should be able to just see your left forearm from this down the line camera view. Getting the right arm and the right elbow on plane here has significant benefits. Now the second piece of this puzzle is very much how you put your right hand on the grip. Golfing Machine once again describes this right arm as one of the power accumulators. The flexing and extending of this trail arm is a power accumulator. So the arm should definitely bend during the swing. It's just that most of you are bending it too much. And with this power accumulator working the arm up and down, there is an associated pressure point that comes with that on the grip. If I touch the meaty pad of my right hand here, the thumb pad, that's where the pressure point of power accumulator number one is located. So when placing my hand onto the grip, I want to get a feeling that that fatty part of my palm is pushing down on top of the shaft. There's a pressure that I'm pushing onto the grip. And the reason that's important is because as I start to swing, I'm still applying that pressure towards the grip during the backswing. So even though this trail arm is going to flex as the arm moves around my body and the arm bends slightly, the pressure, the push, is still being directed out towards the grip. And that helps to keep the structure in my arms, and that helps to keep my lead arm straight. Just as a guide, you would not want to see this trail arm flexing past a sort of 90-degree point. Once it gets to that point or past 90 degrees, you're going to find you get yourself into a lot of trouble. The arms both bend too much, the elbows pull apart, It starts to mess with the wrist angles, which is the club face, and then it also, as I've already mentioned, really affects the steepness of the shaft coming down. Conversely, if you can keep that trail arm feeling straighter, and don't misinterpret me when I say straighter, I do not mean straight. There's some bend in here, but at this point it hasn't quite reached that 90-degree angle. And as I reach back with my trail arm, with my lead arm, I can feel I've got that structure and that width in my backswing that's going to allow me to deliver this club with lots of power. So a great way for you to feel this in an exercise would be to take that grip, put that arm into the condition we talked about where the elbow's pointing out, facing you towards the camera. The right hand is on top of the grip. I would take my normal grip and then I would take my lead hand off the club and I would swing back to the top. And at this point in time here, I'd want to feel like I'm still pushing away. I'm getting some distance between my hand and my shoulder. There's some distance here. I'm not letting this thing bend and collapse in. I'm going to keep some distance, keep pushing away with that right arm, and then add the left arm or the left hand to the club again, and you'll start to get a sense of keeping that width and that structure in the backswing. Once you have that, you'll find that that left arm wants to stay straight, and as you're pushing down through the ball, you continue to put that pressure on that pressure point, pushing down through the ball, through the ground, past the ball. There's a real emphasis on driving the shaft, driving the right hand, and as you straighten the trail arm through the ball, that's what's going to keep your lead arm straight through impact. And once you have that feeling ingrained from some practice swings, you can go ahead and hit some balls. I would be encouraging you to try to feel like you stop the swing right at the edge of the mat here. You don't want the club head to go any further than that. But as I'm stopping in this position, I'm getting the sensation of driving the right hand towards the ground, towards the target and down towards the ground. And as I'm doing that, the trail arm is going to go from this flex condition. It's going to reach its widest point just after impact. And that's what we want. We want to get that divot just after the ball. So we'd hit balls, we'd go to the top, keep this width, keep this structure, pushing that right arm away, and then hit and stop just after impact. Really nice compressed iron shot where I really focused on hitting not the ball, but beyond the ball. 2, 3, 4, 5 inches after the ball, which is when that right arm's going to reach its straightest condition. So one more time, get the right elbow in front of you, turned into this external rotated condition, the joints pointing out, right hand on top of the shaft, pushing down on the grip. There's some pressure down, 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 all the way in the backswing. I'm pushing away, pushing to impact. And once you go past this point, that extension's now already built in. So you should see that the arms are even straighter on the follow through. Hitting balls, stopping where the arms are parallel to the ground in the follow through, trying to feel like both arms are fully extended. That's going to be a great spot for you to practice getting the swing to. Take your setup, lead hand off the club, nice wide backswing. Really feel like that trail arm and trail shoulder retract around and behind you. Now reach up, put that left hand on the club, get that nice stretch, and go ahead and hit one. I hope that helps in terms of improving your arm structure throughout the swing. Remember, the lead arm isn't typically the problem. It's the arm you're not thinking about. Put some time and attention into how this right arm works throughout the backswing, the downswing and the follow through, and I think you'll find your arm structure and your golf shots improve significantly. So there's some insight and education into how to improve your arm structure throughout the swing whilst increasing the amount of speed and power that you can produce. If you found today's video informative and educational, please hit the like button, and if you're new to this new channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. The importance of arms straight really cannot be overstated. The radius management that this speaks of is something that all expert players demonstrate uniformly, and therefore if you can do this better, you can definitely improve your ball striking and your consistency. If you'd like to learn more about stack and tilt and the 10 words, you can check out this playlist here of the videos that I made. And if you also want to learn about the grip and the pressure points and where you should be placing your hands on the club, you can check out this video next, which I made talking about the grip and the pressure points.